Sure, we'll go with that. Ready?
Sure.
Alright, hitting go loud now.
Well, all right then.
And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Stuart. Very good.
How was your day?
Talk to you for a bit. So therefore,
Yeah.
obviously a good day. I feel like I
Yeah,
need to say that contractually.
Yeah, it is in the contract.
There you go. It has been one of the best days ever because I saw you. Okay.
Perfect answer.
How has your day been?
Kind of shitty. Had to talk to you. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
The contract, you didn't read the fine print, did you?
I didn't. I never do.
No, because I don't have to say that. I can, yeah. Anyway.
In fact, line 6, I think, it wasn't in small print, it was in giant print. Must be dickhead to Samuel, once alive. I think what I was looking for the medium-sized print, and I ignored the tiny print and the giant print. Common mistake, I know. You know, you always assume it's like the title or the header, but it wasn't. It was a... Read contracts, guys. Or don't sign them Canadians. Either one. Life lessons.
Oh, well, welcome everybody. Fleet Paw throws in $5 to start us off, which is awesome. Thank you. Smack that like button, folks. Let's let the guys know what we thought about the episode. Hashtag save Star Trek Prodigy. Hashtag save Lower Decks. Hashtag save Star Trek. It's a lot of hashtags, but all true.
And it's funny because obviously the show is not only not cancelled, it's got one more season. But, you know, one season of being worked on right now is not the same as...
Yeah.
7 seasons. Give him 7 seasons.
At least.
Well, yeah. Never let Mike and Man have another career.
Let's turn Lower Decks into The Simpsons. 30
Ooh.
plus seasons.
Wow, that's bold.
Wouldn't that be a thing?
Yeah. Their goal is to get every single legacy back from every era who is still around. And progressively more stupid cameos.
Yes.
Just hire everybody.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I would be down for that. Well, yeah, we're here today to talk about Parth Ferengi's Heart Place.
Yes.
What a weird name.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, as you know, I don't even look at the names, but nor do I remember the names from any episodes.
Yeah,
this is not TNG when it's like Bloodlines. Oh, I get that one. Farpoint. Oh, yeah. You know, they're weird titles I'm never gonna remember, right? And I wonder how many fans can. It's not a tremendous, negative, but a lot of people pride themselves on knowing all the names of the episodes. I will never know the names of any of the episodes, except there was like First Contact, wasn't there? No, or just Second Contact.
Second Contact, yeah.
Oh, and obviously Crisis Point 1, 2, and 3.
I think so. I don't know. I don't remember.
Sure, part 3 last year.
And John Walker is here with $2. We got Rom and Lita back. I'm happy. It's Grand Negus, Rom. Just saying.
Then get it right and you'll sell your soul. Or he'll make you sell your soul.
Yes.
But also do watch our reviews, guys, today. We released 3 reviews.
That's a lot of reviews.
It is a lot of reviews. On this episode, of course, the editor review, and both last very short treks. Not very trek short. Not very short trek shorts. Very short treks. Go check it out. See you guys think. I'm going to start a poll.
Go start a poll. And I will read Ozzy's $5 super chat. Thank you, Ozzy. Time for a poll. Got a new Canada starship. Okie dokie. Yes, the USS Toronto to join right beside the USS Vancouver. A lot of people were super excited to see our coverage of the USS Toronto, and I'm like, we've already covered the Parliament class. Go check it out. It's the same class. So, yeah, we've got that video already done.
Just with few less windows.
Is that the difference?
Guess so.
Okay.
Yep.
Which episode did you enjoy more? Is the poll episode 1, the Voyager one, or episode 6, the DS9 one?
It's true.
Can we call this the DS9 one?
Absolutely.
I mean, the other one from last season was the DS9 one. This will be the Ferengi one.
Sure, but in this season it's the DS9 one.
Gotcha.
As is the love letter. Although it's kind of... you got 2 legacies here. Still couldn't get 1 legacy for Voyager 1. Cause I feel like last season we had a legacy every other episode. This year we've had them.
Yeah.
Have we had anyone else this year?
No, I don't think so. But there's more season to come. Maybe there's more in the wings waiting.
Yeah, but it makes me more important to be meaningful characters, you know. Because last year we had Martok, and we had Martok playing not Martok.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes. I'm going to start sharing, so I'll see you in a second.
Yes, please do. And that means I get to talk to all 30 of you. 30 people, awesome, but only 17 likes. Hit that like button if you're just joining us, or if you haven't hit the like button yet. Really appreciate it. It's the easiest, quickest, fastest, freest way to help us out. But you can also super chat during this live, as Fleetpaw and John and Ozzy already have. We really appreciate that, and it does help us out immensely. So it all adds up, and it all means a lot to the channel, including the algorithm. So please do so. Don't forget to also check out the join button down there. You can join the channel and get your name in our fleet videos and be part of the fleet. You can also head on over to Patreon/Trekyards. It's another way to support us on a monthly basis, and it does the same thing. The same ranks, privileges, and perks all apply over there. So if that's more your speed, go check out Patreon. And by all means, check out the links down below. There are links to the Teespring and the TeePublic store, where there's some cool Trekyards merchandise, and we'd love to see you guys wearing it. It's really cool stuff, so check it out. Lots of ways to help and support, or just share the videos around to people that you know will love them, other Star Trek fans, or people that might appreciate the reviews or the ship discussions. We need your help with that kind of stuff, and yeah, let's spread the Trekyards word as it is, as it was, as it will be. You know what I mean. John, I'll read your super chat in a minute as soon as Sam gets back. And Matthew DePritis is here. Hey, you guys. Sloth from the Goonies, in case you guys didn't know. Unless you're doing ROM. Maybe you're doing ROM. Should have had another option in the poll, says Urs. Yeah. Well, we don't. We got 2. So go vote. Yeah, this is an interesting episode. It'll be fun to talk about it because a lot of people really love it. A lot of people are kind of just, it's all right. So it'll be interesting to get your takes on it, guys. So by all means, speak up. Let us know. Super chat in. We got some great super chats flowing already, so that is awesome. Keep it up, guys. We want to hear from you guys. We do read them all, so that's very important as well. Matthew's like, Goonies all the way, bro. Yes, sloth for the win. What is that? I hate that YouTube keeps changing things. Anyway, yeah, so just waiting for Sam to get back, and then we can start this thing, if you will. But he seems pretty busy doing stuff and things, looking all commandery. It's the truth. And there he's back now. Hello, sir.
Hello. Bit of a chug on this machine. We're just getting things in there. Whatever.
Gotcha.
What are people saying in the poll then? I'm very interested in the results of that one.
Well, Urs said they need a third option, that they like both as well, the same.
I mean, I think, how many things are truly 50-50?
I mean, our partnership is.
Yeah, people seem to like you better. Dear me. Dear me!
Not true at all.
Dear me. So, Stuart, then. What do you think of Season 4, Episode 6, and how does it feel in retrospect, having watched it now several times?
I think I need to read John Walker's super chat.
Well, okay then.
I like that you could tell Armin was wearing the teeth when he did the voice. Listen close, you can tell. Was he wearing them?
Armin was.
Awesome.
Cork.
Oh, Armin, yes. Yeah. Ray Ricks, £5. Great episode. Enjoyed Ron playing dumb. Loved Boimler essentially fell down the YouTube autoplay abyss. And also Freeman and Ransom being competent. Yeah, they were both great this episode. So anyway, back to your question. I definitely enjoyed it more on subsequent viewings, and I appreciate it a lot more now than I did the first time around for multiple reasons. I like how they focused on Freeman and Ransom being good officers. That was really nice. The one thing I'm kind of sick of, though, is Mariner. They keep like dragging her into this. I thought she was getting better, you know, she's kind of letting other people do their thing and not really, but this whole self-destructive cycle just keeps happening over and over again, and it's getting a little old at this point. Like, she needs to figure that out and move on with her life. And I'm sure that's what Mike McMahon is going for. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of thing that happens that'll fix all that in the long run. But it's just right now, it's kind of annoying. And I was on second and third watch of this, I was like, that's really quite irritating, actually, that segment. Because it's hard to see somebody be self-destructive like that and not really understand why. So, but I think the Starfleet experience was a fantastic little nod to the fans.
Go make it. CBS, go make it. Do it.
Yes.
Do it.
That have been to the Star Trek experience, and I think the Tendi Rutherford stuff was
in Ferengi makeup, in Federation makeup. You need it.
Yeah. I think the Tendi Rutherford stuff was great because they do find each other attractive, as you can tell by the way they were blushing and stuff, and realizing that they actually do have feelings for each other, but then that kind of sidelining them a little bit, and they're more best friends, I guess, even though I think it's more than that. They just don't want to admit it. So that was quite interesting. So yeah, I enjoyed it more on the subsequent rewatches for sure. It's a good one. Probably the upper part of the season for me now. So
it's always fun, those sorts of, you know, we captured your initial vibe, which was far more not negative, but far more
I don't think it was either negative nor dismissive. It was just kind of like,
well, it was the same average as the rest of the season. All of them were like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
you didn't say it was filler, luckily, because it's definitely not filler.
I've heard from a few people that it's filler.
People don't know what filler means. They really don't.
No, they don't. They don't.
By that logic, every episode's a filler except the finale and the start, which is great.
Yeah. Well, before I ask you the same question, though, Threefold Path throws in £5.
Excellent.
I'm just happy to see the Parliament class back. They are definitely getting better and better graphics on their ships.
It's the same as last year and the year before. It's much better than season 1, but but it has been 2 years since we've seen one of those, which seems ridiculous. They were in season 1, maybe once in season 2, but not in season 3, and not more than once in season 2.
Such a great design.
Well, it kind of. I mean, it's, you know, it's their design but bigger, like thematically. I still prefer like an Excelsior or a Raven, like detail wise, but it's very good to see.
Sean says, "Can I ask you to fix your levels?" Sam is always too loud and Stuart is too quiet.
We just swapped that. You said I was too low. And down 10%, down 20%. There you go.
No, I said I was too quiet. I didn't say anything about you being too low. All right, we got some more super chats before you get to your take on this one.
What do people think?
Chuck A, TNG Fanatic, throws in $5.
Thank you.
Rule of acquisition number 1: once you have their money, you never give it back. Great to see both of you. Thank you for your money. We'll never give it back.
Very true. Amazing. Thank you.
Megan Bruns, member for 16 months at the rank of ensign, says this was another great episode. I enjoyed it a lot. Yes, it was. And thank you for being a member of the channel.
Makes all the difference.
Fleet Pass Swiftback, $5.
Yeah.
I think Mariner equals Roe. She did something where people died. She perpetually punishing herself for it by not advancing in rank, self-sabotage herself. I love how we found out she crashed in Oberth. And it's not played off as like a tragedy or anything. It's just like, hey, I crashed in Oberth.
Yeah, that got my fan film brain whirring. I didn't think you could do that. Yes. I mean, you say that, but Mike does have a plan for her. He does know the long game. He might be tweaking as he goes, but he knows the end game. But it's been pretty clear why she's been punishing herself in season 1. To retcon saying it's also because she feels guilty about a thing, I wouldn't feel very organic. It might work in the moment you write it, but I would not have equated the last 4 years to that arc. It feels like there's been a very specific arc and we've been following it progressively. We know why. I feel like we do anyway. So to throw that as a curveball would be like, well, that's a 5th season retcon, you know?
Yeah. I don't want it to be that. I don't want the darkness of her having killed a bunch of people or her losing her family, or because they did that with Uhura, and it's like, you don't need to do that to make things interesting.
Yep.
Anyway, Ray Ricks throws in £5.
Thanks much.
Getting bored though with the mystery box plot. It's getting a little played out. I think partly because the mystery box is overdone in Disco as well. a little bit bored with it, but this one kind of stepped it up a little bit with the Ferengi having made contact with them to try to arrange a deal, and
so you caught that second time around, did you?
Yeah.
Because you disagreed the first time. I saw it in the edit.
I didn't disagree. Right. I just said there's a possibility that wasn't the case, but I'm pretty sure it's the case.
It's just in the edit. You can see your eyes like, he's not right. I'm not going to say anything. It was cute. It was like, okay.
Yeah. But then I talked about it, and I said it could be that, but I feel like it could be also a mistake.
No, I know. Yeah. It was fun to rewatch your brainwork because we don't talk about it in advance, so we can see each other react. Like if I think you don't, you can see like, oh, okay, and then vice versa.
But yeah, hopefully it'll get resolved sooner than later. But at least this was a little step forward. So
little, yes, little, Mr. Worf.
Sean O'Sullivan, €2. Need a USS Hadfield. He should have been canon before. I think there is a Hadfield somewhere that's been mentioned. But yeah, nice try, Sean. But it's not going to upset me. All right. So turning the tables now, what did you think of this episode? And is it better second time?
Some of these episodes we do the first review and I watch only before the live review. And if there's lots of stuff to talk about, we could often do like 7 episodes of Trekyards filming before I even do a second watch to know what my real opinions are. More so this one, because we had a part of this debate earlier this morning, but it was not about the episode, it was about a thing in the episode. As I said in the other review, my gut still says my favourite of the season. It was going to get a good score.
That isn't the Voyager one?
I think so. I think it's more, well, my rationale last time, I mostly agree still. Mariner's thing is a little less good on a second watch, but only part of it. My reason to say it's my favourite, I think, we'll do this debate first, is because all 3 of the plot lines work and are interesting and have good bits to them. They all have a bit of humour, all have a bit of canon, all have a bit of, or 4 plots actually. They're all successful, I think, to me, with a variable moments. If that's extra cool, like the cherry on top is the experience, the cherry on the top is the war memorial, the cherry on the top is the twist at the end. Like there's lots of cherries. They're small cherries, but they all elevate the piece. Versus the other episodes where, that B plot was okay. That whole thing was 3 B plots. That C plot was that. This was really consistent. So I think I enjoyed it more overall. And of course, Legacy's back do help a ton. And the fact that it has all this weight of canon of, hey, Roma's successful Grand Nagus. Lita and him are still together. They're clearly both happy. They're clearly a great team. There's no weirdness. It's been, I'm going to guess, 6 years since DS9. So that's a pretty long reign at this point. He's making good changes to the Ferengi thing. There's not super rioty pushback. I'm sure there's a little bit, but it's going quite well. And it's not many times that a fictional something can make me smile in as big a way. Hearing that Ferenginar want to join the Federation made me smile. Legitimately smile. And it does at the end, at least conceptually. We haven't necessarily done the treaty, moment. Way, here's a flag. But conceptually they have. That felt really special to me. Because that, now you can go back and watch DS9 or even TNG. You watch Last Outpost and here are the Ferengi being, this potentially crazy villain species and they're dodgy and they're evil, and within 30 years they're in the Federation. Okay, yes, because we happen to make friends with the leader who then became like a bit of a biased government, fine. But that's really wonderful. right? It's the reverse of like in Picard season 1 where you watch Data get whatever and Picard get whatever. It makes it sadder. This actually improves DS9, I think. So that weight helps me a lot. They obviously had missed opportunities. We mentioned in another video, there was no Nog reference, and there should have been.
Yeah.
My suggestion was a statue at the end, and Freeman walks in and says, "Oh yes, Lieutenant Commander Nog is doing well. Yes, I hope he comes home soon. We've got grubworms this season are extra good." A sense of progression for Nog would have been really, really nice, but hey, whichever. And certainly they keep throwing Boimler in the D plot, doing something in a room, or 2 rooms, or 3 rooms. But if they're smart, if they're canon using, then they're good, and this was pretty canon using. I probably could have got behind, though, more colorways to him with pure adverts. Because can you imagine having to design like 5 Ferengi adverts for really interesting, weird things that use canon, and like he's just so taken by, oh wow, I really want this thing. Because he's never been pitched anything, like he's never been sold anything. So how's he? You know, that would have been. It was good, but that could have been maybe a bit better.
Yeah, when he was watching TV, I thought for sure they were going to mention Marauder Mo. Like there'd be a commercial for the return of Marauder Mo. Because the Marauder Mo action figures that Quark collected, that was from his childhood. I thought there was going to be something about that. It would have been very cool.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, but yeah, different commercials would have been awesome. So
like what we got was fun. Like I really enjoyed seeing a window into their world. That's always interesting, right? And to see non-hollow, non-dramas, it's a TV, like just TV, and a story. They have old school TV because you don't need to make it too complicated, right? I really liked that. No, I just thought it was, this is where we said in season 1, and I'm glad they're doing it. They don't need to be inventing new planets. They can just use canon ones and get all the added depth of that logic right there. And also it's positive. The idea that Ransom is so good with them that he got them such a rare special assignment. It's like, this is really meaningfully cool because it's basically a day off, right? It's a paid holiday, in a sense.
Yeah,
is sweet, and there was no maliciousness, there was no weirdness. Ransom is just a good officer who is really trying to make his people better and supporting them. It was a good job,
Yes, indeed. Let's get to some super chats real quick. Ozzy throws in $2. Need a USS London starship. Yes, but not in the Parliament class, because everybody would assume that it's London, England, not London, Ontario, because nobody would name anything after London, Ontario. And Parliament class is like strictly Canadian cities so far. So,
of course, we have a Parliament, so London would make perfect sense.
Yes, but so far they've been Canadian cities, so we also have a Parliament.
I know you do.
Okay. Matthew Lebner, $5. Like this episode more after second viewing, but I think they did more of a caricature of Lita and Rom than a more realistic portrayal of them. I agree with the first part. Second part, the first time I watched it, I was not impressed with either of their characters. But honestly, I think by the end, seeing them kind of like, good thing she did, Admiral, because, just the way they were talking was very much them. I think the first part was meant to kind of feel off a little bit.
Very off.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Anyone playing an act is tricky. Because if you're only going to get, 7 minutes, you want them to be themselves. I certainly wish they'd had one more scene of them being like crack team snipers, of being them in character.
Yeah, I agree.
I was going to say, I hope they all come back, but have they had any returning? Only as JG as the alien guy. They've not had a returning legacy to follow on a thread, so there's no reason to think they'll come back, even though it would have been nice, etc.
Yeah. Sergeant Montgomery, Mako, member for 34 months at the rank of lieutenant, says, the Ferengi that sells out his crew in the beginning leads me to believe Section 31 and Evil Boimler are involved with the unknown alien ship. Live long and prosper. Could be. We'll see. We'll see how it pans out. But at least we know that they're communicating with people. They talk to people. It's not just this unknown new threat kind of thing. Somebody that's at least trustworthy to a Ferengi, which I guess isn't really trustworthy, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the first scene, isn't it? It's a really strong first scene. A, because we get a new Ferengi ship, which is great. Good design. You'll see us talking about it. Very classic Ferengi in everything, and yet pushing forward. You know, they're not selling weapons anymore. Although you would think if this is like 6 years in, why do they have crates of weapons? Whatever. You know, why do they have weapons more if they're not selling them? Blah, blah, blah. Fine. But just the tone is nice. It's like, yeah, sorry, mate. We're doing... What does he say? He says, community building and hospitality. That's a better way forward. Which, in fairness,
equality and hospitality will
there you go.
More profitable in the long run.
Yeah, because you can sell weapons, but I think they deal with that in DS9. You know, if you sell weapons to one side, that side gets killed. You're out of buyers. You sell weapons to both sides, you win either way. But then, of course, that just gets weird and dodgy and ethically terrible. But Quark runs a bar, which is, yes, there's dodgy things in it, but it's hospitality. It's a regular stream of income. You get repeat customers. You get building client base. Now it's a franchise. So I see the logic of, you know, restaurants, bars, hotels. You know, if you're in a monopoly on those, it's that's how the world goes around.
And Ray Ricks throws in £2,
Thank you.
and says, "Enjoyed cop landlords and shameless Paramount logo." Yeah, the Paramount logo with the which does that right after he says, "I'm not going to fall to this kind of entertainment for the lowest common denominator." It was kind of funny. It was kind of was it a stab? I don't know. But yeah, people, and you know the Black Mountain that everybody sees when they die?
Mm-hmm.
That's Paramount. It's the Paramount Mountain. Just saying. Yeah, that was a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
Although with the stars doing the thing, I thought there was some kind of mind control in the room to make them like watch TV and spend money on pay-per-view or something. Just seemed like an odd, out of place thing. But anyway. Yeah, so we even run into a miniature Genesis device here, which is interesting. And they're having an argument over, we could buy a ship with this. This is profitable. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, the captain thinks that Rom is the next Lanx, which we don't know what Lanx is, but anyway, yeah, Rom is making changes, and it's great. And then it's red alert time. Mystery ship comes in, and yeah, the captain kind of gets a suspicion that Jeef, my name is Jeef, is up to something. He can smell it. And then it's boom time.
It's a very abrupt intro the second time because I was so enamored by the, Genesis device, which is super common and portable and easy to get. Oh, it's amazing too. The 2023 shows both reintroduced the Genesis device.
Yes.
Again, goddamn fan film was like, wow, here you go, we'll just Genesis this thing. Not a problem. But no, I absolutely love the fact that, yes, so this Ferengi chap, in total confidence, they're on time, we can trade now. Something. It was very specific, like, great, I have some of them here, we can discuss, and then before the guy gets killed, he says, I thought we could make profit together, or something of the ilk. So it's... But this logic of, these aliens can be reached, bargained with, deals made, betrayed, yes, but deals made, and meeting up to do something special. How does that fit in with the rest of the anything? You know, how does this change the paradigm of what these people are doing, and why?
I don't know. You would think if they want to just destroy a Ferengi ship to destroy like all the major faction, like one of their ships, they would just do that. So yeah, I don't know exactly. Did they beam out the Genesis device before they destroyed the ship? Maybe they want the Genesis device.
Genesis? That's the guy with the eyebrows.
Yes, Genesis. How can you be deaf with ears like that?
Gosh, they're
Ferengis.
That'd be a twist.
Ears. But he does say, yeah. What does he say right before they shoot him? They told me we could make a profit. Yes. So they tried to dupe the Ferengi.
So they're at least communicatable. My assumption, a gentle assumption, is that, and you tell me if this is too far or if you think vibe as well. If this Ferengi guy worked out who they are and got in contact and said, hey, you're attacking all of our Ferengi trade routes, all these others, if we work together and you let me know where you're targeting, I can grab wreckage or whatever, sell it, give you money back. So it wasn't so much working with you, it's so much as you're doing this reign of terror, let me make a profit off it, and then, but because this Ferengi revealed he knew who the aliens were, they agreed to meet with him, and then came and killed them because they don't want people to know their identity. What do you think?
Could be the case, absolutely.
Might be too straightforward though as an idea, to be fair. What do you guys think?
Pretty clever Ferengi, though, figuring it out and contacting them. It almost sounds like they contacted the Ferengi, but again, why would they do that when they haven't had contact with other ones that we've seen?
That's why I like my slant, because,
yeah,
especially if he's seeing the writing on the wall, we can't goddamn sell weapons, we can't make money. Let me go be a go-getter and, find who is doing all this, damage stuff. It was really interesting. It really changed it, because originally, based on episode 1 and 2, you would be forgiven to say they're a threat from another galaxy and can't speak our language, right? There's a nice confusion with them. This is very grounded. Although, boy, send the guy out of the airlock after 3 seconds felt a bit harsh. I'll be honest, bit quick.
I love the callback though. You're only serving on this ship because that's a favorite of my cousin.
Always the cousins.
Happens all the time.
But yes, they go pew pew, and then we post title with a lovely knowledge of Cena Vancouver's, which also they have correctly fixed the blinkies. I'm sure in season 1 they had red or green on either side, but in other shots you can tell they do have the correct. They're blue as well, like some blue bonus ones, but that's okay as long as they have red and green on the correct sides. And I will commend them. Someone else took command clearly of the space shots in this episode, because each shot is a fun, dynamic, classic Trek looking shot. If they were lit more like a real Trek, they would feel like classic Trek. Obviously, with their cell shading, they can't feel like real Trek because that's not how they're being lit, right? But I commend them for good space shots that were very appropriate, ones like I would do. So I think different directors like, I'll do these classic cutaways. Yeah. I don't have to have them.
I got to give them credit for the USS Toronto as well. That's Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks. Now I've mentioned Toronto. I like that. So, but yeah, we find out that they are there to barter a deal with with Ferenginar to join the Federation, and then we get the wooden cutting board back, which is not the same one that was used before in Lower Decks. It's similar, but not the same.
So I love the Enterprise though.
Yes, or something. Yeah. It's not the same cutting board, though. The other one was the exact same one as I had from Think Geek. This one's different, but that's okay. And then the Delta-shaped sandwiches are a nice touch.
Yep. Because obviously Ferengi food is an acquired taste, but it was fun to highlight them. I love the confidence here. I also love the fact they've changed even the doors for the set, because it's a different ship. It does feel appropriately different.
And the L-cars as well, that's got the light green L-cars. I love that. Nice little touches.
Because we haven't seen the ships in season 1 and their graphics, and it is kind of stark when you go back and watch season 1. There's a lack of refinement to it's something tangible about the graphics I hadn't quite got. This, they're much crisper and sharper and such. But I like this guy. He was in season 1, and it was weird because he was being made fun of by Mariner for his stutter. And that's because she did a good job with the mum, and then they ruined it because of the stutter. But it's nice to see him back, although he's obviously not the best admiral ever. But hey ho. But yeah, it'd be the easiest thing ever, which is true. Rom is a friend. Although, as I pointed out in our other review, we associate Rom with being a friend with the Federation. But actually, look at his time on DS9. He did not go with the team to the Defiant when they left DS9. He stayed with the Bajoran station. So he only knew the Starfleet people on the station. He never went to Earth, never was on the Defiant, on any mission. So he only likes a few people. He's a Bajoran officer, really, if you break down his loyalties, who happens to like some Federation, which once I realised that in our review, that's why he can be more profit-orientated, because he respects them, but he's not best friends, right? He's not Nog, who would be obviously ridiculously biased.
Yeah.
So like,
But we get the introduction of Grand Negus Rom and First Clerk Lita, which is great. And the ceremonial bust of good fortune with a ceremonial invoice attached to it.
And that was a genuine laugh out loud for me.
Yeah.
I thought that was rather... Because
Well,
you can tell Lita's just having fun with that. It's such a ridiculous thing, but hey, how many stupid customs are ridiculous and silly and fun and weird and 4,000 years old, right? Here's one of them. I love it. Although
he gave you the friends and family discount, though, so thank God for that.
And you can tell he's like, oh, God. For like 30 bars of Latinum, and he's like, don't you have any aboard? No, I thought it was a really fun intro. And then, yeah, nice space shots. Nice space shots.
Yeah. And Mariner is weathering a stem bolt, so much so that it might not be able to self-seal. Love that.
It's so
I don't know why
stupid.
she's weathering it, though.
I don't understand it, but that's the point.
Yeah.
I like the lack of understanding.
And she's all pissed off because Boyne was like, "Why are you sitting there looking all pissed off?" For the first time in years, she has total autonomy and zero complaints, and Ransom's being supportive. It's like, yeah, okay, so why are you there? Stop staring at me. Shut up. It was great. But then Ransom comes in and gives them their duty assignments. Travel guide duty, which means they get to go to Ferenginar and look at the sights and go to the bars and the taverns and the bars and the hotels and the pubs and the bars and the cantinas and the bars. Yeah. It was kind of funny.
It was. It's a good
And
little...
last night on my first reaction, I pulled out my travel guides for Vulcan and for Kronos, and we're like, people were super chatting in for like which page to go to, and I'd read an interesting fact about each. It was kind of fun.
I had forgotten they existed, yeah. This is such a light-hearted thing, and it's yet another excuse to do a canon-loving thing. Oh no, we get to go and explore a famous world and look at things. What a shame. Like, it's nice and keep finding reasons.
Yeah, and we learned that Boimler drinks a lot of coffee because he wants to, instead of 4 to 7 things, he wants to cram it in 40 and not have any time.
Once again, I laughed out loud. It's so on character, it's so on point. You know, I want to do so much, I barely enjoy anything or not at all. It's like, yep.
Yeah.
But in fairness, 4 things is not very impressive. And even if all 4 are bars. And I only caught on second viewing, even though it's obvious, that Mariner, I think everything she says is a bar, just with another name.
Let me go take a look.
Because she says bar, that's the joke. But if you listen to them, aren't they all bars in different languages?
Yeah. So, here it is. Foot the bill to go to as many bars, restaurants where you can also get alcohol, bars, hotels where you can also get alcohol, pubs, obviously, bars, saloons, cantinas, and bars. Yes, they're all bars.
Yep. Like, it's so quick fire, doesn't quite register, but I love that. It's such a stupid good joke. Yeah, and yeah, as I say, Starfleet's fit in the bill. But yes, apparently, it's a very horny single ship. There's no couples.
Oh, yes.
It's a ridiculous line.
The horniest ship in the fleet. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there have been several orgies. Well, no, holodeck. Although I guess I want to program them, so... Goodness. Where's Bortus? We need him. Yes.
Exactly. Nice.
But apparently these two are the closest platonic couple that can get away with it. Although, there's no one on Vancouver who's a couple. That seems impossible.
Toronto.
With the Vancouver class, yeah.
No, it's the Parliament class.
There we go. That's what I said. The Melbourne class, the Bajora, stuff like that. All right. Because you know the fact that they're lying is a story, right? There must be one couple on the ship, surely. Because
that's not the Toronto's mission, though. The Toronto's mission is the other thing. The Cerritos, while they're there, their mission is to do that. So they need a crew.
So it's better to lie to the people you're trying to make a treaty with? That seems more dodgy.
How much of a lie is that, though? Honestly,
well, clearly it almost got them in trouble, so it's a big lie.
It's a little white lie, honestly. But yeah, it goes a little overboard because animated comedy. But
yeah, but it just seems like I mean, you can still share crews and share resources. But it's fine, just only considering that now. But it's nice. They're so in sync that you would think it'd be easy, but it escalates.
Because they overthink it.
Yeah.
Fleetpaw puts, who's a member for 42 months of the rank of Commander.
Goodness.
Says, all right, damn it.
All right.
It's Genesis. The name of the place we're going is Genesis. Genesis? Yes, Genesis. How can you be deaf with ears like that? Genesis a lot. It's not. It's Planet Forbidden. I'm not going to finish that because I could. And then Fleetpaw also throws in $2 super chat and says, what's the best bar in First City on Kronos? Or where's the best bar? Where?
Where? What planet, sorry?
Kronos.
Where?
Kling.
He's,
At Curry's, we
I got some spit on me from all the way over here.
Powerful beam.
I'll have to look that up, Fleetpaw, because I don't know. But then we got a nice summer day in Ferenginar.
Do you remember it's always rained, or do you just remember when they showed it?
Oh, I remember it always rained, yeah. They got, like, I forget how many names for rain.
But it's nice, it's gentle. Although I did notice there's no aliens on the planet. Same as on Arias. Everything's... yeah, which is fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
I love everything's got... the art design's fun, because it's too much, but in a very Ferengi way. No, it's good. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I love Boimler's joke. The Museum of Gambling and the Museum of Haggling is just... yeah. He's going to lose so much money, isn't he?
Yep. But let's not forget that they're a happy married couple and they got married at a wedding.
Well, I mean, don't always have to get married at weddings, but yeah. Didn't you know?
Ooh, Trek Culture is here, gentlemen. Welcome, Chris.
Hope the thing that we can't talk about is going well. I look forward to seeing it.
Indeed.
But it's cute. It's nice. I didn't remember the art design of the Ferengi until I saw this. I'm like, oh yeah, they have the giant circles and the doors and the wood and all came flooding back. Really nice.
Yeah.
It just felt there. You know, there wasn't any. Yeah, they have to reinvent the wheel. It's a nice chill hotel.
John Walker, though, $2.
John.
Let's just enjoy Imagination of Topless Tendi. Yeah, that's all I can.
We're about there, Stuart. We're about there.
Do you want all I've been able to think about.
Do you want to quote it? I feel like this is an important moment in all of our lives.
Yeah, they're talking about, I'm super excited to wake you up if you're having a bad dream, and
very nice.
telling the waiter how you like your hamburgers and complaining when they get it wrong.
Good for her. Yep.
And Rutherford won't feel guilty for using her toothbrush because their gums are in a partnership, which implies he already does use her toothbrush.
Oh no. Well, that one's funny because that's pushing, like, they obviously kiss, which is, you know, so I like that they don't realize that's what they're saying, but they are. And then
she says, yeah, and I'm gonna wear gym shorts around our shared quarters with nothing up top because who cares about nudity with our situation? And that's what does it. You are? Oh, yeah. I love you. I love you, too. Blush. Uh-oh.
I like it.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get that image out of my head, so. Somebody suggested a shirt with, like, Tindy just wearing shorts and, like, turn looking over her shoulder with no top on. Good shirt idea. I'm sure somebody will do it. But it's too late. They can't change their mind because they're the Starfleet VIPs, and they're getting the exclusive discount. They're getting a great deal. Yay! Confetti. They get tied together with a bow. It's great.
It's nice. It's nice. Yeah, and the 10th is it's very fun, and it's a natural evolution of the moment. And have they ever done the? No, they did for Mariner once. The pink cheeks. It's a Guev saying, "Oh no, we're getting real. This is going real." Because you can certainly imagine if they've all this internal chemistry, which they do have, you can go from really close friends to more when you realise you're in that in sync. Sometimes you can just click that switch into, wait, do I fancy you? Oh, of course I do.
Yeah.
But they play it so both. Are they bashful because they're having to put a romantic slant on a friendship, which is therefore bashful because it could ruin things, or are they bashful because they're realizing, actually, I do have feelings for you and I have for years, but I've just pushed it back because we're just friends. Oh shit, now I get to express it a little bit. That's kind of fun, but bashful. Any of it you can argue, which is lovely. I mean, that's quite a balance to do, actually. This sort of storytelling, they succeeded on all the grounds. You could argue both perspectives. So good job there.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of, though, guys, we have 50 people here and 33 likes. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Chris, I'm looking at you. I assume you haven't hit the like button yet. Hit it. Let's try to get to 50 likes. John Walker, $2. Still see traditional Ferengi females in the nude in the background. Yes, which I love. Because they have a choice now. They don't have to be naked, and some of them aren't. Some of them are. It's pretty great. I didn't notice that the first time at all. I only noticed it when I was going through my second watch through, and that was pretty good. Actually, I think you mentioned it in the review, and I was like, oh, I'll have to look out for that. So, yeah. And Gorgonzola said that this episode is missing a Jeffrey Combs character. You mean Brunt, FCA? Yeah, should have had Jeffrey Combs back as Brunt. That would be great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially the DS9 Love Fest, that would have been... Yeah, maybe he now owns the love industry. So he's the guy. And he maybe found love with some random Ferengi, and it's like, oh, I used to, collect taxes, now I collect love. It's like, what does that mean, Brad? I don't know, I love people, I love love. No, it's... Would
have been great if he was just like the guy that cleaned Rom's baseball collection. Oh. That's what he's now doing.
He's not a liquidator, he's a cleaner. Yes.
Yeah.
But I gotta commend them as well for the amount of loveness that is shown in all these scenes with all the love heart, furniture and stuff. Somehow does not feel disingenuous. There's no sense of these Ferengi are misabusing the Federation people. There's no sense that they're putting on an act. It's a fun package for lovers or married people. Like, there was no disingenuousness. I mean, in a world where everything can be sold, obviously every variation of every package would be there. But it felt nice. It felt genuine. That Ferengis do value love and they value this sort of stuff. And it they didn't feel like a disconnect between people and Ferengi, which was good. What, sorry, sir? Can't hear you.
I said we got Boimler going to his room.
Very Ferengi room.
And his itinerary has everything on it.
Even the bed has ears.
Yep, it's pretty great. And just as he's about to leave, he gets
Ferengi
sucked in by
Center
a
for
commercial.
Forged Arts.
Yeah. Some great stuff on there.
What the hell? Sorry. Oh, I love the minibar, and then the toilet. You got to pay to use the minibar, pay to use the toilet, and pay to use the thing that pays for the things.
Of course you do.
But I love it.
But I think they missed a trick too with him having to put in like a slip of latinum every time a commercial came on or something, just to continue to watch the program when they come back from a break or something. Would have been great.
Yeah. But obviously,
and so on brand for the Ferengi. So
yeah, how do you do a society? If everyone likes money, then it's just natural, right? You carry around hundreds of pieces of money with you just for everything, right? But I'm sure everything is therefore dirt cheap. It's like was it in Japan many years ago? They had they were flaunting like 1% unemployment. The reason is there are dirt cheap jobs that people have that can't pay their life, but at least their jobs. And examples, public toilet attendants, and they only get paid on tips. Technically, they're employed. It's like, right, okay. But so people need to bring money because you're going to give that guy £1 just to wipe your hands, and then it's like, well, that's not really a job, is it? It's a job, but it's not really a job. But yeah, so that felt like this. Like everyone has like 50-cent coin just to put everything. So everything costs money, but nothing has any value in terms of like it costing lots.
Yeah,
it's good on brand.
But we get a Sluggo Cola commercial. Of course we do.
Lobes get bigger. Wah, wah.
Yeah, that was great.
And the ladies in
Although
clothes. I don't know if I'm offended or not.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I mean, it's that's how far his reach has got. That on a commercial,
Yeah.
advertising like sex appeal from drinking this drink.
Yes. Oh, that's true.
The lady has clothes, which is probably taboo, because you would be offended by it because it's like not the norm. So maybe that's why they're pushing it.
Well, it
I
wasn't
don't know.
taboo.
It's
It
interesting.
was.
Yeah.
No, that's
Exactly.
very efficient way of doing it. Very, very efficient way of. You don't have to say it, just show it.
Yeah.
And here they go. No, it was great. It was very and it, 50% of the audience won't even know that's a thing, right? That's for us Trekkies, and that's great.
Pog and Dar, cop landlords.
Yeah. It works. Although, kind of wonder if they'd ever do a Rick and Morty style multi-universe TV show. Just have shows from different planets. If you put a bit more thought into them, I'd watch that.
Somebody suggested last night that they're gonna really step outside the box, and it's Rick and Morty inside the mystery vehicle.
Wow. I mean,
well, it's
it's
two life
bold.
forms. It's two life signs, but hey.
Yeah. But then we get to a nice looking bar. I like we get a broad range of ages, especially in this scene of the Ferengi, and then in the bar fight, lots of different shades of orange. Really nice, diverse but not diverse, right? Everything's in brand, but a nice bit of all of the above, which is really nice.
But she meets up with her Ferengi friend from season 1.
Yes.
And she's congratulates her on her promotion, and
Again.
Yeah. And then we hear about her crashing in Oberth, because she never thought she'd get another promotion after that. Yeah, and she's complaining about being a valued part of the team, and like, oh my god, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. But you can imagine if it's been part of your identity to stand out and make noise for, let's say, 5 years, then suddenly just do your job and be nice. How do you process not causing trouble when it got to be a habit? I can understand it, right? And as I said previously, yes, it is retreading old ground, but it's literally new ground of Ferenginar, because now she's having, like, she can't make trouble successfully when next to Ransom, her superior, who's trying to work with her, but can she make trouble off ship when she's not being watched? The answer is yes, but it means nothing, and she's been shown it means nothing. So she can't make trouble meaningfully anywhere. That's the point of this, right? She's lost that string in the bow. It doesn't work anymore. Good. Excellent.
Yeah. But that waiter goes by with, I love that. It's the exact same thing that was in Conspiracy.
Oh, God, yeah.
Thing that held the worms.
Ha! Wow.
And she orders all the shots and then somehow has a mystery shot. Does it matter? Yeah.
Shut up, we're a cartoon. It's like, what? We're a what?
Yeah.
Nothing? Yeah. And I like that, 'cause again, second time round, he's like, oh, let's have a nice gentle brunch. We'll have some quick shots! It's 10 a.m. 2, that's late. 3 shots. It's funny on a second time, because like, he does just want to chill out. And she's not into that right now.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, then back to the dumb ROM, which is... It's more annoying second time, because it's wasting him a bit, / a lot. But it works well as an overall story, so...
Yeah, a lot of talk of baseball in this scene. I love how Lita pulls him aside. My husband's not exactly a shrewd businessman.
Which is true.
So, yeah. But he likes to feel involved. Can we make some of the numbers different? It's just great.
It's great. It's a good trick, and I hadn't quite zoned in that the mum does recognise it could be a ploy from minute 1.
Yeah.
Which is great. But of course, you don't want to piss off the people.
And did you notice? Oh, go ahead.
Well, I assume that he's been doing this treaty for days or weeks. This is like the final step.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I just want to get it done. Isn't him being lazy? It's, I've been staring at this for weeks. This works. Can we? Yes, please. So, It's a little bit different.
Yeah. Did you notice when that Rom throws the baseball and it's embedded in one of the displays? Yeah.
And also, I think, I don't know if it's meant to be this, but when he says we'll reopen, because I like that idea, you know, once it's locked, it's locked. That's what negotiations are. You're not meant to be able to swap things around. I believe it's timed that after they say, oh, things are open, the logo of the Federation delights, implying that, okay, it's no longer locked.
No, I think it's because it's broken.
Yeah, that could be it as well.
It's flickering, and the other one is the colors are all like off because the screen's broken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could have been the other thing. Which would have been kind of cool.
Might have been, but it did come back on, so I just assumed it was broken from him throwing the baseball into it.
That's, criminal damage and all that.
Yeah.
But I do like the sun reversal. Not that Lita's playing dumb. She has quite a great tonal, constant tone. It's like, right, we have loads of things. I'm like, oh, sure. Shit. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
But cutting back to Boimler, he's still watching the show, and there's a commercial within the show, which product placement. It's great.
Yeah. Now, luckily, the Mountain. Let's be honest, Paramount is not an overly subscribed network, nor do I think people associate with a mountain. Not really.
They do, though. It's the Paramount logo, so yeah, Paramount Mountain, it's a thing.
I know they try to make it a thing with look, we're going to the mountain and find the streaming, but I don't think the UK.
Yeah,
I don't think the UK is a thing. Like, I would not have associated that with that. But I mean, it's not an American network, is it? So.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with that as a silly, fun little gag. That's okay.
Yeah.
And I love things kind of funny. It's just good stuff, right? It's just good, funny stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, that's a very lovely-dovey room. Oh, why is a love heart always love? Well, yeah, no, you're right. It could be this, or it could be beautiful green eyes. What? Oh dear, Rutherford, stop looking at her beautiful green eyes. What? Orcs.
Gorgonzola says we need more product placement in Trekyards. Excuse me while I put away my iPhone. Yes. Yeah, and then he comes in and it's time for their photo session.
Mm-hmm.
So they get and meeting each other, and again they realize that they probably are more attracted to each other than they want to admit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get quite an interesting photo shoot, complete with a lasso and everything.
Love their outfits too.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
And I love he's got a hollow camera that's the same but different. That was always a nice touch. Yeah, love the pictures. And I also laughed out loud at the lingerie, because that is an insane male lingerie, but you know, he's got a love heart on it. And it is what she's wearing in the chocolate as well. So they actually keep consistent.
Yes.
Funny. Because it's not played for silly. It's played for this is what they do. Which is why it works extra well, right? That's just what they have. And the guy's not creepy about it. It's just, this is my job to do these shots. I like it. It's a really good tone.
Yeah.
Public library, books, gambling, books. Nope, more gambling. Dear me.
Public libraries go hard. Yeah. Nobody's read a book for 1,000 years. I love the. This will be a thing soon. The Ferengi head with the ears.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
Yep.
That was good.
Yeah.
And again, so logical. It just makes sense.
Yeah. And then this is where I kind of get annoyed with Mariner. Got to start a fight. Got to be a problem. And the guy's like, "I'm sorry, I'll reimburse you." Which for a Ferengi, to reimburse somebody is pretty interesting. I just want to have a quiet time with my biker gang. Nope, it's time for a fight.
I mean, it was just nice to see non-standard Ferengi, because what a nice, gentle performance by that guy. And everyone's trying to be chill, right? And Mariner is beyond pushing. And yeah, oh, they're playing. Oh, they are. They're playing the whatever it's called.
The show in the background, yeah.
No. Well, yes, but they're playing the game on the water
Dabo.
tape. No, not Dabo. They're playing the Norscan game.
Oh,
The billiards
Domjot?
style game. Is it Dumjot? I think Dumjot is a different one.
I think so.
I don't know, but yeah, they're playing that, which is kind of nice. And shit goes to shit. Yeah.
Yep.
Poor everyone. And the monocle flunked off. It's good though.
Yeah, good punch to the head.
And another beautiful, very classic flyby. Although totally not the scale those ships are actually at. I think it's meant to be bigger than this. And also, why are the Cerritos windows not on, but the Californias are? And they probably are, but we can't see them at all. That's weird.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But you can see the blinkies are correct, which is nice. I'm pretty sure the scale is meant to be bigger. Anyway. More baseball. Always baseball. Always baseball, Stuart. Always baseball.
Yeah. But a lot of numbers have been changed, and his idea is to go back to the palace, because it'll be a better photo op for the signing of this great treaty.
Which I think is actually a good idea. That came across as a nice, like, oh, okay. But I like the idea, yeah, we're just delaying the inevitable to try and force you into submitting, which he is very much like, oh, I don't care. Be done with it.
Yeah, at this point he's like, I can do this. Because Freeman pulls him aside and is like, just trying to stall, so you'll sign anything.
And then we get hit over the head with a super unexpected thing. We get a shot of two we thought were accurate, less accurate than we actually thought for real is, and hung by wires, miniatures of two very famous ships at the Star Trek The Experience, Quark's Federation Experience, Bar Grill Experience from Vegas, from Ferenginar. Yeah!
And so many great little things here when you freeze frame, which we've done a video on, and you will get to see sooner than later. So
because it does go very quick, and only some things are over the table from certain angles, but it is lovely. Although I will point out one brief thing: why the hell is there a Guardian Forever? How do Ferengi know what it is, where it is, who it is, and then famous enough to be warranting a picture show? I suppose they got into the TOS records and found it, because clearly they're big TOS fans, which is great.
Maybe. Maybe they found it when they raided the Enterprise and downloaded some of their files. That doesn't work. Wait a minute. Never mind.
You're right there, buddy.
Nix that.
Yeah,
they stole another. One of the ships they salvaged from the Dominion, one of the Dominion battles, had computer archives of it from the Enterprise's logs. There you go. Yeah, my brain just didn't work. Anyway, John Walker, thank you for changing the subject, John. $5.
Thank you.
I love that their Dominion War Memorial is to lost profits rather than lost lives. Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's another cherry on the top of the icing of the cleverness. But Stuart, 53 votes. Which episode did you enjoy more? I asked the question. Episode 1, the Voyager one, or episode 6, the DS9 one. I have a slight victory for the DS9 one at 58%.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Very
stuff.
good.
You're in the Poland.
All right. And it's my chance to remind you guys to hit that like button if you haven't. We have 40 likes. I'd like to get up to 50, though. So if you're looking and you haven't hit your like button, do it now. And, yeah. Chime in. Super chat. We want to hear from you guys. Eric Martin chimes in with $5 and says, what's up? Lots. We're talking about Trek. It's kind of what we do here. Welcome. Guardians like to gamble too. When one too many drinks and they start telling a story or several from since long before your sun burned bright in the sky. I've awaited a question. Yeah. I think it's just the iconography of Star Trek. The Guardian of Forever is one of those things, and it's a real world reference, not a in-universe reference, maybe. I don't know.
Yes, that is very true. Which is fine, right? It's absolutely fine. But, you know.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Don't know. But Stuart, new poll. Go check it Out.
Out. There you go. How did Rom and Max, well, Rom or Max, sound? Very good, like Rom. Pretty good, but not perfect. Okay. No teeth, plus too old. Hashtag not my Rom.
Soz.
I love how Tendy here says, "Oh, look at those velour uniforms that used to catch fire all the time." What? Oh my goodness!
Pretty great. And I mean, you know, when they embrace TOS, it's always a dream because you can tell they love it. They use it often. It's unrecognizably, undistinct. Definitely TOS.
Not altered.
Yes, and just pretty. I mean, it's really fun seeing a Ferengi with a Vulcan look because, as I've said many times now to you, Stuart, if you go to other countries, you have American and English restaurants because we become the novelty there, as there's Italian, Mexican, Indian here. You're not going to find an Indian restaurant in India. You're going to find restaurants.
Yeah.
Not the same food, not the same vibe, just people working. Here it's look, you go to see that. Whatever. So I love that idea of what is the equivalent. How do they get things wrong? How do they ever do it? You know, if you go to Ireland, everything it's Paddy's Day every week. It's like, okay, and there's green leprechauns everywhere, despite being a very minor part of the culture. Or in American bars, it's all flags everywhere. There's always American music, right? It's very, etc. And that's fine. It's touristy. So to see the equivalent on Ferenginar, Proco taking it further, because you know they're behind this boring corridor piece. I don't get what it's trying to be. Windows.
I don't either.
Like
I said, it feels and looks a little more Strange New Worlds than anything.
Like I don't know why it wasn't the Enterprise D conference room, like Windows. That's all it had to be, right? Or the NX-01, because the actual experience I believe had some of the NX-01. I think was that the English version, but then there was a version that you could go to where they had part of the NX-01's mess hall. So I kind of thought that's what it was, but also those are portholes, and that would have been great. I would love to have seen that. It would have been even more in universe. Like it's fine, obviously, but I don't know why that wasn't something specific.
Yeah. Eric Martin though throws in $5. Thank you, Eric.
Super duper.
It's going to be a long dry spell for Star Trek or Star Wars fans once Lower Deck is done. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, Discovery's coming out at some point, probably in the spring, maybe March-ish. Who knows? We'll find out.
I wouldn't even know what to predict for that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it depends on everything else they want to comes out. But since Stranger Worlds has been pushed back at least by 3 months, although you would think they could be doing VFX for later in the season, because there's no reason they couldn't.
No, it's true too, yeah. And they can get back to writing now. We just gotta wait for the actors thing.
Which they were actually at the shooting stage, so you'd think.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're going to confess that, well, they agree they want to go back to just being friends for now. And just as they're about to tell their host, there's a red alert because another couple is trying to get a discount by lying about their relationship status. Or gets sent to a lifetime of working in the subaquatic sulfur mines. That sounds lovely.
Do they send a waiver then going into the restaurant that they can get their lives ran down? I guess. Dramatic. But also, I didn't quite get it the first time. But of course, yeah, everything's about profit and then saving money. So if you just say you're a couple, I'm assuming they get great discounts. That's clearly implied. So it's like 50% off for being a couple, which is crazy. It's a lie, you get 50% off. I see the logic. So yeah, it's and if you put everything on the menu, it's even worse. But they're going to test the guys.
Oh yes,
they got each naked version of each other. I love the fact they got Ferengi cherubs, cross-cultural. God, can you imagine if you said to Gene Roddenberry, "Hey Gene, yes, in 60 years, 40 after TNG, next to the Voyager and Enterprise D, there can be naked Ferengi babies holding arrows." That's what you're going to see. Oh.
Yeah. And not only that, but their halos are deltas, and they're wearing the delta boots. Anyhow.
Oh my god. It works because it's dumb.
Fleetpaw Swiftback throws
damn.
in $10.
Oh,
Thank you,
beautiful.
Fleetpaw. I'll wager 12 bars of gold pressed latinum that the female lands 4.87 meters from the base of the Tower of Commerce, and the male lands 5.39 meters from the base of the tower. Throw them off. What are we talking about? Who's being thrown off the Tower of Commerce?
It's very dramatically Paul.
Yeah. But we're back to Mariner and her buddy, and he just bailed her out and bribed a bunch of people to keep this diplomatic mission safe for
Seems
Starfleet.
like an everyday thing, in fairness. I feel like.
And Ferenginar, yes, yeah, absolutely.
Like, presumably, there's a bribe authority. There's the official chance of bribe, unofficial chance of bribes. You know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. John Walker says, "Thank you for that deep cut, Fleetpaw." It's a deep cut I'm not understanding, so good job, Fleetpaw. And Mariner's going off about how I sit weird in chairs. You can't predict me. And her friend's kind of sad because he's like, your chaos usually means something, but this time it's just you're angry for no reason, and it's kind of sad.
Which is well said. You know, chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos can be fine, but you're being, you're doing. Why are you just? So it's also not fun. You know, if yeah, I like it. It's a very mature conversation. They don't quite use the line, you know, you've changed, man. Yeah, I've grown older. Like that feels like a trope. They kind of avoided that. But I knew instantly where they were going with the memorial gag. I thought that was beautiful because, yeah, it adds a shocking weight to the sequence, which is also a giant joke. But it's not. It's serious. It's real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Although it does imply all these people had to go out and do things, I guess? Because how many profits are you losing from your house on Ferenginar versus, you know... But that's so sad, Stuart. We lost 4 billion Quatlu here and 3 Oh.
A sober farewell to lost profits.
That's great.
Ray Ricks, though, throws in £5. Thank you so much. That was the betting system in DS9. They were betting how far from the base they would land for breaking the law. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Doesn't really ring a bell. What was that from?
I'm not sure which episode, but it was DS9. Who was betting? I can't even remember that, but I do remember the reference.
But it feels like good catharsis. You know, it's you just can't. This isn't you anymore because you're faking being you. You're trying. You're doing what old you would do, but there's no reason. You just no, it's good. It's smart.
Yeah. But I love how Mariner's like, man, you Ferengi really keep it on brand with the guy crying over his lost profits.
Although, 76 million. It's a lot of things.
Yeah, and she's like, sorry I'll cost you so much money, but I'll pay you back. And he's like, Mariner, I love you. I just need you to figure out whatever's eating you up inside.
And also interest. There'll always be interest. But
back to Tendi and Rutherford. They're doing well, and their last compliment is fun hair. And I like hair too. It's okay.
They certainly could have pushed that a lot further.
Yeah.
But, they're trying to keep it in the realms of realism, which is fine. Again, I'm trying to work out what the vibe is. Are they trying to say that they're, I don't know. It's balanced, right? It's balanced.
Yeah. John Walker throws in $5.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Brunt brought it up during the Moogie episode. He said he would chuck them both and watch small children get on where they would land, I think.
That does ring a bell.
Anyway, now that they've passed that test, they have to consummate their marriage, but not where
What?
everyone can see.
What?
In our blind box,
Oh my god.
where everyone can hear. And it's a Type F shuttle, which is awesome.
Now, does this happen all the time then? I guess it does.
Could be a special case because they're Starfleet VIP. I would imagine not very often. I don't know.
But also in the olden days, for their entire culture, women were naked as standard. So it seems less ridiculous. Like, you can't say nudity is a problem if that's half their culture. But no, seeing a Type F shuttle be wandered out is just... It's both chilling, it's a bang bus. Oh no, you can make porn now, couldn't you? Oh no, that's not a trailer, and oh no, that'd be a... But it's funny because it is very accurate and yet entirely wrong, which is a good balance. Excellent TNG Ferengi. They look really good. They're obviously tall. Because everyone is generally quite small in this episode. It's a fun... You got to remember that they are a smaller species, and they are big and broad and tall and look phenomenal. It's our first time seeing live action proper TNG uniforms. Excellent. And also just mentioned they've got a Klingon bridge here, and they have a TNG E table and a TOS table, which is phenomenal. But wow. Now this is when we escalate to escalation. Because of course, So Miggly Mo comes in wanting a chill dinner with Spock. Ferengi Spock, which I just can't get over how funny that is.
Which we find out his species invented space travel to seek out strange new meals.
I buy it. And although having rewatched this now, does not the dialogue that Tendi say and they say combined does not make sense, because they clearly state you're platonic. They clearly state he doesn't know. They clearly state I love you, but you everything is conflicting in a certain way, so it just confuses them versus convinces them.
I think so. Yes. Exactly.
They don't know what they're saying. They're just sort of throwing stuff out and you remember the last thing. But I love Mixamo's reactions. Like, oh, you guys love me? Why don't you say it in therapy? Or whatnot? I didn't know you're married. And, it's only emotions. I kind of hope there's a payoff to this in like 2 more episodes' time. It's like, hello, Tendi.
I'm sure there might be some awkwardness in another episode, sure.
Because they have spent a good amount of time together, because he was her professional advisor, which made no sense. So they have hung out. They do know each other. And she was always trying to get away. Just wanted to do tests and learning. And he wanted to do not those things.
Yeah.
I like this. It's really silly, but it vibes well. Like, gotta get out of this ridiculous situation. Yes, exactly. Yes, indeed.
Fleet Paw throws in $2. The fuck you know about Bang Bus, Samuel? I mean, who doesn't know about Bang Bus? Am I right?
It makes sense as a phrase. I assume there's something like that.
Good cover. Moving on. Viren Victus throws in $2. Should have had Nog as captain, even if non-speaking. Yes. Should have definitely had a Nog reference of some sort.
Captain would be pushing it so much.
Would be pushing
Lieutenant,
it at this
point. I mean, that would be the quickest rise ever, and he's not that good. No offense. And I also would, I would say Nog's a better second in command for a while. I wouldn't throw him straight into captain. Not that he was too mature, just he wasn't.
Totally agree.
Just wasn't captain vibe until he's like an old guy. But a really, really great right hand and like doing the hard work. I know he was the captain in Visitor, and that was like 2404. That was, another 20 years away, which is fine. That's a good age. But yeah, captain would be silly. And also the captain of the official Ferengi diplomatic corps mission. Huge conflict of interests. In every respect, the Grand Nagus' son is the one signing the treaty. I mean, talk about corruption, although I guess it's Ferengi, you'd expect that potentially. But also just super important mission for that young captain. Anyway, but yeah, Vegas stuff was beautiful, really nice. Could have pushed it further, obviously, but it was fun. It was unexpected. It worked really well.
And I noticed too now that when they're walking away, there's the red shirt rack, which is just a rack of red shirts. But on the desk, it looks like Starfleet badges in a box.
What? How does one? Oh yeah, maybe. God,
Yeah, it says badges. I assume the first word is Starfleet.
Well, it's the gift shop, so...
Yep. Nice touch.
It was great. I just had fun. I like just having fun with this stuff.
And I love the food they're eating, like you said, is all like burgers and tacos and nachos and poutine. Yeah. And sushi. There's sushi there too.
What else did you eat? And you pointed it out, but I didn't see it until the second watch. There's actually one guy who's a Ferengi Klingon, who is very hard to spot. And I just spotted him again, so I'm going to zoom in because, like, really sub background character. But I've never seen a Ferengi cosplaying a Klingon before, and that is very great. Glory to you and your lobes. That's what I say to you.
Cosplayers got a lot of new cosplays out of this episode. A Ferengi Spock, a Ferengi Klingon. John Walker throws in $5. Thank you so much, John.
Hey, John.
The 6-foot Ferengi were weird. Their doors alone say that wouldn't happen. Maybe steroids from Dominion War, like the Captain America syndrome or serum. Yes.
No, there are small humans, there are very tall humans. There are basketball players, and there are jockeys. Variation, right? Yep. Who do you hire to be security? Tall Ferengi. Who do you hire to be bouncers at clubs? Big, burly men.
Yep.
Not a problem.
Good point.
Yeah. But yeah, really great scenes. And then we get back to Ferenginar. Nice throne room. I like the vibe here. They're breaking him because these boy leader. These are great terms. She's a boss when it comes to this negotiation thing.
10 points on the back end of every Holo novel program. I don't think they have back end, but sure.
So they've now got to invent money back in the Federation just to charge people, and they get to commandeer any Starfleet ship for any reason, even if they don't join.
Oh yeah.
Which is insanity. You can tell the Admiral's broken. This is where credibility gets strained. He couldn't be that stupid. He couldn't be. Now, if they'd had, you don't need this obviously, but if there'd been a line and Freeman walks to him and says, "Admiral, you must take a break. You've been doing this non-stop for 12 hours. You're exhausted. I just want it to be done." So she went away and had a snack or something.
Yeah.
But beyond stupid. But, you know, contrast, whatever. He does a little dance. Oh.
Yes. Dance for me.
And Freeman has amended it to everything they want. And a signing bonus. Stuart, my goodness. She is so generous. And there's no hidden agenda. Maybe.
Yep. Here comes the other shoe. Before you get the signing bonus, you just got to recruit another planet yourself.
Yes. I really like that Rom clearly... He's like, oh. Like he sounds smart for that 1 second. Like, oh yeah, this is a ploy. Like, if you haven't got his ploy by now, oh dear. But you're like, oh yeah, okay. They're playing us now for half a second, which I do like.
And John Walker throws in $5.
Amazing.
He says if they had tall Ferengi naturally, their entire architecture wouldn't be based on hobbit sizes.
I'm sorry, there are many dwarves in the world, and we don't have tiny.
And there's also many 7 feet tall people that need to duck down. Right.
Everything's an average.
Yeah.
98% of people are one size range. Everything's gonna be built to them. It's like I saw a documentary where we went to Warwick Davis's house, and it was lovely because obviously it's custom built for him, so all the furniture is low, and it's sweet. You just get to walk around and do it to scale, as it were. And yes, of course, you know, because that's the life he lives. Everything will be built around that, except the doors, because the doors have to be for everyone else. I don't know, this is so unnecessary, but it's cute. He's getting a new washing machine, and it's delivered, and they're like, "Do you want?" He's like, "Could you do it?" And they're like, "No." It's like, please, because this is I can't physically lift it, let alone move it. Just please install it for me, because But it's nice because they're doing it. It's all normal sized door to help move it in, etc.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Anyway, Rom thinks he has the upper hand and says, "You know how many planets are in debt to us? It'll be so easy bringing one of them in."
Which is true.
And yeah, and Freeman's like, "Well, I guess go get nothing. We're done here." "What do you mean? You owe us a fortune."
Okay, now pause there. I still don't get this the second time. He has not signed anything yet. He had to sign his name. He hasn't done that yet. This is not a treaty that's signed. She hands him something that she says has been altered. He's not agreed to it. Why does she suddenly turn, as if it's now signed, and say, "You guys are screwed"? They've not agreed to it. They can just say, "We're not going to do that." This is not a checkmate, Freeman. And if he did sign it, then there's no dialogue. A, he didn't sign it, you didn't see him, and B, there's no dialogue saying he must de-sign it to sign the new one. He just signs the new one in front of them. Where's the checkmate here? She's just changed the line of the contract.
It's not. It's either this is the contract or you're not joining a federation, essentially. So you get nothing. You don't get federation membership, and you don't get anything we owe you in the contract because you're not going to sign it.
But they've been changing it for the last 9 hours. That's not a... Of course they can change it again. They've changed it for the last 9 hours. I don't know, just it was a weird moment of like, haha, I was like, we haven't. Then they'll say, okay then. You need us more than we need you. Like, it just... The acting there was really weird. Like, you got us! It's like... No, we've been getting you for the last 8 hours, and it's just... I don't know, I think they didn't write that particularly well.
John Walker, though, throws in $2.
Yeah.
Warwick Davis is amazing. I hope to meet him one day.
Yeah, I don't have the chance.
Yeah.
I love he got to play Rise of Skywalker. He got to play Wicket again, and Wicket's son was his real son, which is lovely. Yes, what's the twist, Stuart? The twist
has to be the Klingon homeworld. I thought it'd be like Romulus or something the first time, or Cardassia, but it's impossible.
You got more of a chance with that homeworld than you got with Romulus, but yeah, it says like, oh, yep.
John Walker, though, wow, man, throws another $5. Thank you, John. Because you heard the beep and thumb scan on the pad, he signed it, no doubt. I didn't hear that. I have to go back and listen. And later, he actually signs his name as like a child. But...
Yeah, I heard a beep.
Yeah.
But why is he signing it later? And then you have to de-sign.
He might have just been like scrolling down or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And even if you approved it, doesn't mean you signed it, because they obviously unapproved the last version. So was not clear. But yeah, Kronos, love it. I love the reaction. You can imagine Chase Marston in the booth. I was like, Kronos! Like, it's a very big performance. She also yelled something in the booth. But it's like, yeah, 1 billion Gold Pressed Latinum. You got the sense that, because that was the signing bonus. You got the sense the Admiral's like, that's going to bankrupt us. We don't even use money. A lot of Latinum. But no, they can't undo the terms for some reason. No, see, look, there is ROM signed on the treaty that she's holding. Look, when she's like, oh my god, you can see his sign.
Oh, you're right. It is signed.
But he did not sign it. We did not see him do it.
Well, there you go.
And otherwise, would there need to be some level of... I mean, I guess he did sign off camera. They really should have shown that. No, yeah, it's then signed. So he signed it off screen. That was a poorly edited piece. Okay, so he did sign a treaty and didn't read it, and then they... But don't you have to wouldn't there need to be some sort of formal arrangement to I think
it was never an official document because they were playing them the whole time. That's kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah, but then signing it is not... The point is that it was locked in. I don't know, it's not the most well-handled scene. But I like the fact that he is smart ROM, and he's like, you guys. Which is fair that Lita says, we can't be dealing with dumb people. Especially since our government is going to want to get a better deal anyway. Yes, you might be a good space navy. Yes, it might be exploration. But this is basic stuff, which is don't be taken advantage of. You've shown you can play our game well. Culturally, it shows respect.
And
Bish bosh. We can make it.
And Stephen Fathry says he signs it on screen. He writes Rom with his finger. Yes, but that's later. That's after this part.
The real treaty.
That's when they go back to the original treaty. And Ray Ricks throws in £5. I think Rom was just waiting for them to do it. He wanted to join the Federation, but has to consider how this would look to the rest of the planet.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's I don't think he was. I don't think he would truly do the bad deal for Starfleet, because that was clearly a horrendously bad deal, even with the planet requirement. So I think he would have, you guys aren't ready. But I do like the vibe. I do like yes, you guys show what you're doing. Freeman looks real smart here. She's both very smart this season or dumb. She kind of goes between the two, but mostly smart. And we've successfully got Ferenginar Federation. Cheers to you. It's a big day. Big day.
I don't have a drink.
Big day. Well done, guys. I wonder what Zek would have said.
And here's a mistake too. He says, "Let's start over. Bring me the standard papers." The one that Rom is holding is also signed, and then literally the very next scene where he says, "I'll sign," is when he signs.
Yeah.
So it's an animation error, I guess.
So you can't trust it being signed before or after. They probably just had one pad that was.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Stuart, it's the sweet corn all over again.
Exactly.
But no, I like the scene. The payoff's good. The twist's good. Again, I really wish we'd had a better joke to end on than "Let's go to my batting cages." When were you into baseball?
Well, before that happens, though, the Admiral does say to Freeman, "I'll be relaying your acuity to command." Thank you, Admiral. So I think she might be getting a promotion at some point, maybe even by the end of this season.
It would have seemed very unlikely, but hey, they've all been promoted. It's no longer that won't happen. So well, maybe, maybe. No, it's I just wish she hadn't done the stupid episode. She'd been so much better without that. But that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Maybe.
Anyway, post-mission, Freeman's like, there's still a few more hurdles to do, but today felt like a good start.
Like, why are you putting the thing in the bin?
Yeah, it's not even yours.
No!
It's the other captain's. I love that the ship's outside, though. You can see the Toronto outside.
That's a nice touch.
John Walker, $5. It's a moment to appreciate how huge this is for Canon. Ferenginar potentially joining the Federation is so huge, it's not funny. This is amazing.
That's why I said I had to review. It's really important. It's really meaningful. And it didn't take that many years after Nemesis. After DS9, sorry. And you've got to assume that he's a well-respected Grand Nagus for the people to agree. Because, all of our governments, if all our governments suddenly did something ridiculous, there could be enough rioting, enough disagreement to undo it, right? If enough people say. So it must be respected enough to, because certainly you would assume that massive amount of rules will come by being in the Federation, like no cheating people. Rules of acquisition are literally a law on Ferenginar, right? You can cheat people as long as they're based on the laws of acquisition. If you've got the Federation rule over that, that's going to change everyone in their entire society. And it makes every Ferenginar a Federation citizen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And they're in Federation space now versus Ferengi space. That's big. Wow. Gosh. Gosh.
Gersh.
Sure, yeah.
Anyway, we're back to Ransom, asking how the travel guide duty went. And she's complaining about having to take out a predatory loan from her friend and how she feels her hangover in her spine. And she gets into fights for no reason. But she wouldn't understand, and she falls on the table.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how about you two? And this was funny. I think faking a relationship was way out of our comfort zone, sir. We just don't have any natural chemistry. Let's go reroute this phase conduit. And they like squeeze in together into the Jeffries tube thing. And this makes sense. Aww.
Yeah, I didn't quite get how close they were the first watch. Second watch, however.
Yeah.
They're quite close, Stuart. They are.
I would say so.
Quite close.
But Sam, what happened to Boimler?
Well, luckily I didn't leave Ferenginar, because that would have been awkward. He looks like real shit. Like, just absolute trash. Let me raise the brightness to see what's actually going on in this room, because it's real dark. He hasn't slept. He definitely has eaten. Hasn't shaved.
He says he's only watched 8 hours.
This
is kind of extreme for 8 hours.
Yeah. But you assume it's probably way worse food than he's used to. So, his uniform's on the edge of the bed. His socks are as well. He's now in a blanket. He hasn't unpacked his bag yet, 'cause it's on the left. All of his food is grubs, including a Chinese takeout box. Which is lovely that he's happy to eat the grubs. He's got a remote control, which is cool. A Canon remote control. And a red Ferengi as well. Cool. Because, dramas. Actually, wouldn't that be kind of fun? Or it might ruin his character a little bit. If in later episodes they catch him watching this in his bunk.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure, well, now Federation citizens, I'm sure you can happily stream this via, Ferengi Flicks, or Hulinar, or Paramount Plus.
That's what I was waiting for.
Just Paramount Plus exists in Trek. And Ransom says, "You idiot," but in a good way. I'm glad you went with the flow and didn't do the assignment.
Yeah.
None of you did.
I'm sending security to pick you up.
Yeah.
Just go limp and go with the flow.
Which it does. It's somewhat. I mean, talk about how we don't like hazing. He's allowing his crew to get beaten up. That's worse than hazing in a lot of ways. But the way he says it's like, "Oh, I'm proud of you for doing a more independent thing, and now I'm punishing you with violence because you were dumb." It's like, Jesus Christ, okay. But we're going to do it with a happy note, so it's okay. And that's a big-ass Ferengi. That Ferengi has no neck.
Yeah.
Another variety. In the classic uniform as well. Oh, dear. But he loves that guy, so it's fine.
He loves that lieutenant. Yes, he does.
Gosh! One episode. Okay, we'll end the poll. I asked, how did Rom/Max, the actor, sound? The winner, pretty good, but not perfect, with 56%. Very good, like Rom at 23%. 12% okay. And losing at 9%. No teeth. Too old. Hashtag got my Rom. Good. Good. Last poll coming. Last poll. Vote on that for you.
Now is your chance, guys, to super chat in and let us know your score. We want to hear it. We're going to give our final thoughts and closeouts and our scores, and then we want to read yours. I will read all the super chat scores. Sam will read all the ones in the regular chat, but we'd appreciate a couple more super chats. Another $30 would be an awesome way to end out. So a couple of 10s, a couple of 5s, whatever. So if you can, please do. We'd love to hear your scores and your thoughts on this episode. And hit that like button. We are only at 43 likes. There's 7 likes to get to 50. That would be amazing. So please do that now. Hit the like button. Right now. I'm waiting. It hasn't moved yet. That makes me think that all 50 of you here have hit it. When I want 50 likes, I'm only at 43. I'm not going to be a math teacher, but I think you can see what I'm saying. Hit the like button. All right. I'm going to wait for this next poll. Please vote on that as well while we're giving out our closeouts.
There you go. That one had to be careful wording to fit in the criteria.
All right. The overarching alien thread plot, it is overdone now. Boring. Hurry up. I like the show. Burn, or the slow burn, I guess. Thumbs up. Lower Decks should have no arc. There is no arc, only Lower Decks. It's okay. Hurry up. Yeah, hurry up next week. Yeah.
I wonder what you guys think. So, Stuart, We are at the end of episode 6. 5 weeks in because I, skipped a bit. That's okay. What are your final thoughts? And, importantly, has this review changed your opinion? I know doing the other review changed it a little bit. Where are you at now, having done a full chat with us?
I like it more. Like I said, though, my subsequent rewatches, I also liked it more. So it's actually really good and very nuanced. Well, not nuanced. It's very layered. It's got some really good stories. Pacing's fantastic. I like all the plots. Boimler's is still interesting, even though it's very much a C plot, and I'm fine with that. The only thing that annoyed me, honestly, was Mariner's attitude, but obviously they're working towards something with that, with the talk she had with her friend, and she needs to come to a realization at some point. So, but it's been happening a little too often for me. She kind of just keeps going back into it, and it needs to kind of wrap up. But I think that's the point. We're supposed to be frustrated, like all of her friends and her, her commanders are. We're supposed to be frustrated. Why is she doing this to herself all the time? So, some really fun moments between Rutherford and Tendi. It makes me wonder if they really are attracted to each other and just don't want to admit it. Because when they do, it's a little bit weird. Gotta love Starfleet: The Experience. It was very, very good. We have a video coming out about that where we look at all the stuff that's there, and there's some really cool stuff. So that was a nice, pleasant surprise and really kind of awesome to see. So Lower Decks does that kind of thing in spades, and they do it very well. And yeah, Freeman on point. Freeman was fantastic in this episode. Even Ransom, the way Ransom dealt with everybody, I think is more mature. I love that they're kind of focusing on, like, fleshing out those characters more as well. And to top it all off, a Parliament class named the USS Toronto. Awesome. And like you said, some really good establishing space shots and stuff. So there's a lot to like here. And it's very much up there for me as one of my favorite of the season. But I don't know if it's number 1 spot or number 2. I don't know. We'll have to see. Which brings me to scoring. So for how we do this, enjoyment factor and then all of Lower Decks, or for this season and all
It's
Lower
enjoyment
Decks?
/ this season, yes.
Yeah, okay. I'll give it an 8.8 for that one. For all of Lower Decks, probably an 8.7. I don't know.
Fascinating.
It's in that range. So yeah, that's where I'm going to go with those. So,
and guys, with literally final $7 will be Sue and Perb. Yes, my closing thoughts. It's a darn fine episode with a good idea, with multiple good other ideas thrown in. They could have pushed a couple of things further, as we often say. Have a Nog reference specifically, have another scene with a smarter ROM, have a little bit more of the museum experience. Not much more, but a little bit really welcome. Yeah. But Lita's great, ROM is good, Federation joining is superb. The twist at the end is well done. The experience is very well done. The ambiguity yet full-onness of Rutherford and Tendi is nice, because either you can move on and sort of ignore it as a gentle, it was a thing we did, or you can embrace and say, hey, the audience loves them as a duo, let's make them a couple. You can play either. Mariner, as you say, it's very much audience, you're with the audience, like, we're pushing that to the edge. I can imagine at the end of the season she's going to raise above and finally do something truly heroic without that weirdness attached, without the rebellious or the backstabby weirdness. Like, she'll do something truly, like, she's now grown past that. So season 5 is her, as Mike said, we might not get a season 6, so therefore he's got to certainly start going where he wants to go with that. And so by the end of 5, she's more mature, can move forward in herself and go new directions. That'd be cool. Bond is fun. Again, maybe we'll see, now a TV appear in his room, and we'll be able to watch shows in the background. That'd be kind of cool. A lot of good stuff. There are multiple cherries on top, as we said. The museum, or the exhibition, the monument is very good. Literally, the gag about the library is funny. The gag point at the start, like more laugh out loud moments the rest of the season. But also, it's done in such a positive spirit. The Ferengi aren't creeps. The Ferengi aren't super weird. The Ferengi aren't predators. The Ferengi aren't. No, they're just people doing their thing. We happen to be in their world. Like with the Ryan, right? There's no racism, there's no meanness towards us specifically. It was a well balanced thing that is in the reams of Star Trek and what it tries to do. Score wise, I am going to give this a 9 for this season because it's one of the few that I think actually stand up as being top tier, and because of its canon connection and use of legacies, I'm going to say it's also one of the best ones of Lower Decks because it does balance many things. Like if they'd pitched this to us in season 1, after Discovery being the primary Trek, we'd be dribbling with happiness, right? Wow, they're going to go to Ferenginar and it's going to look canon. There's going to be TOS and TNG and Voyager and Ferengi and Rom and Lita and like the list of cool in this is so broad. Because of the boldness, I'm gonna say a 9 as well for all of Lower Decks. Because of the boldness of making Ferenginar canon the Federation positive. Yeah, 9 for both.
Wow. Okay, cool. Interesting. Well, let's get to some super chat scores from you guys, which, like you said, another 7 would be awesome. So
close.
If you want to super chat in, now is the chance. But
what do people think?
Ray Ricks, £2, 9 out of 10. Fun episode. John Walker, a $5 super chat. 8 bars of Gold Pressed Latinum out of 10. Dubious Ferengi establishments would have been better with Brunt and Moogie. Moogie.
I mean,
I just want to hear Rom say Moogie again.
Yeah.
Fleet Paw Swiftback throws in $2 and says 8 out of 10 fiery velour uniforms.
Oh yeah. I dressed in the velour. Crazy.
Yeah. Ozzy throws in $2 and says, I'll give it an 8.9 out of 10. Mom gives it a 9 out of 10.
We're on the same page, Ewan. I mean, your mum.
Awesome.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Let's see what the non-super chat scores say, or the average Joe says. Oh yeah, no Lynn in this episode. That is true, Stanley's. That is true. But she did get all last week, so that's fair. We have got a Marco 7.2 out of 10. It's our lowest so far. Donna 7, even lower. Stanley 7. Donnie gives 9.5. Alan Parr 8. Tandy and Rutherford are great as friends. No need to be any romance, in my opinion. They just love each other platonically. It's sweet. Yes, and you can take it that way. That works fine. Trilobite 8 out of 10. Species 7.5. Joseph 8.5. Todd Fielding 9. Stephen, Dad, 8.9 out of 10. Damn. Close. Very, very close.
John Walker puts $2 in and says, I'll donate another $20 if you guys take a hard ... Take a hard what? Shot? Because I don't have anything here right now, so.
Well, we can do an IOU one for next Trekyards. But no, good episode, and
yeah,
if they're all like this, I'm very happy. You know, smart plots, big stuff, character development. Certainly, yes. I do think we're at the point where the alien threat is proving to be the fact the trailer was about the alien threat, and it feels not meaningless, but it really is just an afterthought or a forethought in every episode. It's not connecting in a meaningful way. Even if it kind of is, it's mentioned so little, right? And that's strange. It's strange because we know it exists as a thing, but it's not being built up enough to make us invested in it as a mystery. It's just a thing that's happening. You know, and certainly if it's resolved in the last 2, like, okay.
Well, John Walker answered what the question mark was. A question. It was a question.
Yes, sure, go for it. We're all ears.
We'll take a hard question. Go for it. Just put it in the regular chat or make it your $20 super chat if you want. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
See if we get it right. Dum dum dum. But yeah, tune in for some fun stuff over the weekend. Guys, 2 ships. Goodness.
And on Monday, it's Thanksgiving here in Canada, so Sylvia's off, and I already have a live scheduled where she's going to be joining me, so you guys get to hang out with the Admiral and ask her questions, and it'll be drinking, so you guys can make the Admiral drink. So tune in for that. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday.
Excellent. Hashtag Admiral drink. That's the...
Yes.
Solves everything, eh?
Hopefully.
And yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hopefully they're good. Yeah. And hopefully next week we're going to have on the Dreadnought Dominion team from the fan film world. They're doing a crowdfunder right now for a pretty exciting project, actually. Having, been vaguely briefed on the storyline, it's actually quite exciting.
First time hearing about it, so...
Yeah, I keep forgetting to mention it.
Awesome.
Yes. Then they're not pushing their campaign too much, so it's like, yeah, we're going to do that, won't we? And then things happen. But they're good, guys. We had them on once. This is a far more ambitious project. So I'll let them talk about it, but it's such for 3 films, and they're all linked. So...
Cool.
It's quite a thing.
I saw their campaign video. It was pretty well done. It was quite interesting.
Yes, I helped them with that a little bit. I didn't make it, but I gave them several pages of notes at each pass because it had problems. So I'm glad I refined it. I pitched that initial shot where you see all the 3 ships. I thought it'd be quite a cool visual, and it was.
Nice.
Yeah. John, any update? We're waiting.
Yes. John.
I can end the poll, can't I? The poll, let's finish off. So, and the results are... Dum dum dum. Oh. The results are where? I don't know.
So the winner is, I like the slow burn, thumbs up, 55%. There's a tie for second place, both with 22% of overdone now, bored, hurry up, and it's okay, hurry up next week. And 0% for lower decks should have no arc.
Oh, damn. We have not had a 0% in a long time, Stuart.
It's true. Oh, there's John Walker. All right. So John Walker throws in $20, which is awesome.
Amazing. All right.
I said it would be hard. Why do you think it's easier to deal with hot take social issues when presented through the lens of science fiction versus real life, like right to life, like Tuvix and etc.? Because it's science fiction. It's telling it in a future setting or an altered setting of some sort, and it's not necessarily about humans. It's weird how the human mind works in that regard. Doing something that's similar to what's going on, but changing elements of it, but it's still the same story, makes people look at it in a different way. It's almost like you're a third-party observer looking at it. You're not in the problem. It's like in a relationship. You can't see the problems in your relationship, but as a third party, you can. If you take the same story that's going on in society, make it science fiction, you're on the outside looking in as a third party going, those are aliens. There's a simple solution to this problem, or there isn't, but it's a third person context. That's my take on that.
So and yeah, it's about being one step removed mentally. That's all it takes.
Yep.
A little bit graphic, but let's be honest. Most of us eat meat, and a lot of meat they've named as other names. The word veal does not mean anything. But if you order a menu, it sounds, I'll have some veal. But you know what it is? It's kind of horrifying, but it's just part of the meat society. Because the word is one word removed from, do you want some baby cow? That wouldn't sell the menu, would it? So it removes you from it, right? By having another name. So by having, rather than being, this black person wants to kill this white person, vice versa, you now got the Landarans versus the Brewcats, and one have big ears, one has giant foreheads. The exact same social issue can be put on, but you're one step removed. And for 50% of the population, I think, these things are just stories. You're not necessarily taking the deeper meaning as a literal. 50% is very important to people, and they just see the internal message, but it still goes into your brain either way. And the hope, of course, being is that by seeing, because normally social issues, you want to have a positive reaction, you want to have a positive outcome, right? It's not about who's right or wrong; it's about a positive outcome for both parties, or at least in life. And so if that gets in your psyche of like, we just want to be good to people and be friendly, then that goes in. Yes, it might be about race, whatever, but it's about people being good to people, not necessarily that subset, because of course you can transcribe that alien with another, not that race, but another thing, more timeless as well. If it's just...
Plus, it's being presented as entertainment, not as news.
Or as preaching.
Exactly.
Because that's also a problem.
Yeah, it's entertainment, and that's you look at it differently.
But also, there's something oddly universal. Prejudice has been a thing forever, and it will be forever in different ways. But if you don't say who the prejudice is for or against, then the same episode can resonate 20 years later with a different social issue. If you just have it be about this, that's what it's about. You can't have a parallel because you know what it's about. So by having it be grander and bigger and better, you're having far more effect in far more ways and far more people and far more time. As part of why 2S works as an art design that's not 60s, it's stylized. There are some 60s elements, but it's its own thing. Versus shows that are very 60s at the time. They look dated, they will never be outside the bubble in the same way. Does that answer your question, John?
I think that was a fairly awesome answer from both of us on a hard question. So yes. Thank you, John, for asking that. That is awesome. 2 more likes if we can get them before we leave, but we're closing out right now, so check out all the content this weekend.
A last note for TOS especially, there's a really nice something about humans being above everything. We've got past religion, we've got past racism, we've got past internal division. We're just people being good to each other, striving for forwards. So knowing we've already got there allows them to look at other races with an objective eye, versus now, wow, you hypocrite. It will be, you could say that, but you can't call Kirk a hypocrite if he's trying to not have 2 warring races fight over this. It's like, well, no, you call him a hypocrite for breaking the Prime Directive and destroying a dragon on a planet. That's weird. And there are things you can say, but not being a good guy thing.
My computer had a stroke. Till next time, he's Commander Cocking.
He's got a